Welcome to Divorce Dads of America. I'm your host, Anthony Thompson. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, boys. I want to take you back to a moment. Not that I'm proud of. A moment I sat in my car, engine off, hands on the wheel, and I already knew. It was over. I knew what I had to do. We've been going through therapy and doing things that we were trying to do our best to work it out. And I had been served papers. And I was holding on, and I was holding on, and I was holding on. There was this tiny sliver of hope, man, that maybe something would turn around. It was that 1% that was just costing me. When we finally had got to that place, and it was so difficult, it was so hard, and I never wanted this, never dreamed of this. I mean, geez, what person gets married thinking they're going to get divorced? Nobody does. I didn't either. And that 1% that I was holding on to, I all the signs were pointing, hey, this isn't going to go. And when I finally got those papers, I knew. And even at that point, it was just a moment that I was weighted down by. I had that 1% that I was holding on to, and I want to talk about that 1% today. I want to talk about why that happens, why we hold on to that, what it's doing to your brain, and how builders get out of it while drifters stay stuck in the car with the engine off. Let's dig into it, man. Before we get into this, hit the follow button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts right now. We're giving 3 episodes a week for divorced dads who are done drifting. I mean, every time you hit that button, the algorithm goes crazy. Shows it to other dads worse off than you. It's real. It's real. A couple clicks gives another dad help and hope. Do it now, and let's keep building. I love you guys. This stuff is going to hit. It's going to be hard. It was something that I had to go through, and I want to give you some of the brain science behind it, because I think for me, and I share this with dads in our school community as well, is when they have trouble getting their head around something. I remember when I was on some of my health journeys, it really helped for me to digest the information of understanding why this was going to benefit me, why this was going to be helpful for me to, cut out sugar or not do this, or just getting a very good understanding of the physical body before I ventured into it. And for us dads, we need to understand the brains, man. We really do. It's not try harder. It's not what's wrong with you. It's like, bro, let's figure out what is actually going on so that you have a baseline of what to do. And so I'm going to give you some of the data and the research here on the neuroscience side, because it's really helpful for me, man. It's actually something that I dive into. My coaches and guys dive into it with me so that we understand the landscape of what's going on in our brain. There's something called cognitive dissonance. And this isn't, I'm sure many of you know this. I'm not saying you don't know it. I just want to bring it to the table. I just say, hey guys, while you're in the blender, while things are going crazy, while you're trying to hold on to that 1%, this is what's going on in your brain. This is why there's a difficulty, there's friction, there's a gap, and it's cognitive dissonance. The psychological tension between what you know to be true and what you're choosing to believe. That's the cognitive dissonance. The published research, Leon Festinger's foundational studies, show the brain experiences this conflict as genuine psychological pain, not weakness, not indecision, actual neurological distress. That's what's going on when you're trying to hold on to something that is gone. Your brain's response to that pain is to reduce the dissonance, not by facing the truth, but by manufacturing reasons to stay. That's the 1% talking. It's not hope. It's literally your brain self-medicating. And for me, sitting in the car, I was thinking of all of the things that I could have done differently to not bring this result, to not have this happen for my kids, to not feel this pain, feel this failure, feel as if this was completely gone. How could I let this happen? The amygdala, your threat detection system, many of you guys know I've talked about this before, it reads the end of a relationship the same way it reads physical danger. It's crazy. Divorce activates the same neural pathways as grief and trauma. And many of you guys know, we talk about grief, and many of you guys know in our school community that you share about, man, I just feel grief. That's what's going on. Published in the Journal of Neurophysiology, romantic rejection lights up the same brain regions as cocaine withdrawal. That's what's going on with these neural pathways of stuff that's happening. It's literally that powerful. So when you can't let go, even though you know you're not weak, you're chemically hooked on a person who is already gone, like a cocaine addiction. That's how strong this power is. But here's where something is very important to understand. The longer you stay in the dissonance, the more damage that it does. And here's why. And this is, again, guys, that these are things guys share every single week. Chronic psychological conflict, it elevates your cortisol, which we know disrupts your sleep, impairs decision making. You become less capable of rebuilding the longer you stay stuck in the 1%. Okay, and let me give you what the 1% cost you. Let me tell you what the cost of this, okay? This is the real stuff that happens. The dad who says, part of me is holding on, but 99% knows that she's gone. That's not just one man. That I'm hearing that from thousands of guys in my audience. And the cost is this. It costs your kids a present father. You can't be fully there when you're mentally still in the marriage. You can't be fully there. You're exhausted. You're getting pulled in another direction. It costs you your finances. Men in prolonged divorce limbo make worse financial decisions. There's research done by the University of Arizona shows divorce-related stress directly impairs executive function and financial judgment. I've got guys, again, in our school community that share this exact same thing. It's bleeding into their work. It's bleeding into their bosses coming to them saying, hey, do you have this handled or no? And they don't. It's impairing them. It's costing them. It's costing them potentially their job, their financial security, their peace, because they don't have this handled in the 1%. It costs you your identity, right? You stay frozen as a husband when you need to start becoming a builder. I can't tell you how many times guys are like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. And they become so frozen, they do nothing. They literally just stand there and they think, and I say this a lot, they think a unicorn is going to show up and just give them a bag of $100 bills. That's how absurd is what they're thinking, but it's because of what our brain actually does. That is what is all going on in your brains right now. And so when I come to a guy, I'm like, bro, I need you to just come over here, jump into this group, start doing this, get on a call with us, start talking with a band of brothers. I'm doing that because I need you to snap out of the current reality, and I need your brain to get disrupted to start doing things that will build and will be healthy for you. That's why we work that way. That's why I'm like, yo, come on in, just get in, just start, just do something, just start moving something in your brain and start seeing things differently. Here's a framework that is helpful to understand. And if you have a journal, if you have a note, guys, I really just encourage you, please don't listen to this once. Please just don't be consumers, man. I want you to be doers. I don't want you to try. I want you to do. There's no trying. You either do or you don't. So let me give you a couple questions. And these are huge, helpful for me. Question one is, what does the 99% know? Not what you feel, what you know. Facts only. She said it. She filed it. She did it. The 99% of what you know lives in the facts. And that's what's helpful for you is, what does that 99% know? Okay. What do you actually know? Number two is, what is the 1% still telling you? Write that down too. Get out of your head and onto a piece of paper. I always say this, empty your pockets, man. We got to see what's in there. Name the story. Maybe she'll change. Maybe maybe after the holidays, maybe if this thing happens, name it. You can't fight a story if you don't look at it. Question number three is, who are you being while the 1% runs the show? Are you being the father your kids need right now? Or are you building? Or are you waiting for a life that isn't coming? Proverbs 4:23 says this: above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guarding your heart doesn't mean shutting down. It means being intentional about what you allow to live in it. I said this to a guy today. I said, brother, your heart is the most important thing. And this verse, Proverbs 4, is exactly it. It flows the issues of life. Everything out of you will flow from your heart. Is it bitter or is it forgiven? Where is it? Is it hurt and in pain? Or is it believing that there's life and possibility? There's a whole nother episode. I'll talk more about guarding your heart and what that does and what it means. But I want you to ask those 3 questions because I want to give you this. What builders do instead of drifters that stay stuck? I want to give you a few things to think about. Builders don't wait for certainty to move. They move inside the uncertainty. They move inside the uncertainty. We know that. I think if every dad I talk to, they know that. They know that conditions can't be perfect before they go. They know that nothing is promised. They know that there's no guarantees in anything, yet they still stay the same. If you want to change, you got to change. So you have to know that that uncertainty is actually the call for you to move. Dr. Henry Cloud, he's got some great stuff, great books. He did some research on necessary endings, shows that the inability to end what isn't working is the single greatest limiter of human potential. So he does this research. It's not the lack of talent. It's not the lack of resources. It's the inability to close the door. The single greatest limiter of human potential is the inability to end what isn't working. You know, one of my flaws and one of my gifts is that I'm very consistent. It's a great gift. It's a great flaw because I could be consistent doing the wrong things. I have another great gift for myself, that's loyalty. Very loyal person. The dark side of that loyalty over the years I've realized is that I can become loyal to the wrong thing. I could stay too long when I should have moved, right? That inability to end what isn't working. I've had that happen so many times in my life. And I want to put the difference between builders and movers, ability to pivot, ability to move. And when things aren't working, drifters stay, as I mentioned before in the beginning, drifters stay in the car with the engine off, waiting for a sign. Builders understand the sign already came. It came when she said it. It came when she filed it. It came when you knew. And the move isn't dramatic, guys. It's not burning everything down. It's just one decision today. What is the one thing you've been avoiding that 99% already knows needs to happen? What is that one thing? And I'll close with this. Guys, here's the difference between a builder and a drifter. A drifter lets the 1% make the decisions. He stays in the car. He keeps the threat alive. He tells himself it's love when it's actually fear. A builder looks the 99% in the eye and says, I know. I've known, and today I move. I am. I'm not scared. I know it hurts, but because my kids need a father who is present, not a man who is still mentally married to a woman who has already left the building. Which one are you going to be today? I know which one that you're capable of, and so I want you to build today. If this episode hits you, do one thing right now. Follow the show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. 3 episodes a week. Help another dad. If you have a comment, a question, leave it. I want this thing to erupt with dads saying, hey, let's help other dads. Let's do something. Let's transform 1 million dads. I need your help. I love you guys. I pray for you every day. I'll see you guys on the next one. God bless you.